So when you think about national debt relief, I want you to think about a debt management company. And into this conversation, I really want to do an in-depth review. I want to explain everything to you so you have a clear idea of what we're talking about when we mention the term national debt review. And what I want to say here is that this company is great for debt settlements, not credit restoration, not credit repair, not debt consolidation, not debt management, but only debt settlement. So, national debt relief is actually best for individuals who have been through a financial crisis and are looking to manage and pay off their debts without paying high interest rates, taking out debt consolidation loans, or declaring bankruptcy. So it can be difficult to navigate settling debts as an individual, making national debt relief an option for those seeking a service to negotiate on their behalf. Okay, and so while the level of debt reduction varies from case to case, national debt relief has a proven track record of negotiating with creditors to significantly reduce consumer debt. And it is, however, important to know that you risk getting sued by your creditor, as there's actually no guarantee that they will be willing to work with debt relief companies. And so this company is great if you owe at least $7,500 in unsecured debts. And so National Debt Relief is headquartered in New York City and has been operating since 2009. It is one of the country's largest debt relief companies and has successfully helped more than 400,000 people get out of debts, okay? And so they assist you with many types of unsecured debts, including credit cards, medical bills, and some student loans. So we love that a lot. So it is a debt settlement company. So it does actually negotiate on behalf of consumers to lower their debt amounts with creditors, okay? And you can actually complete the National Debt Relief debt settlement program to actually reduce your debts by 25 to 50%. Remember that when we talk about debt settlements, it's just one of several debt relief options that you have as a consumer. You may want to consider whether you might qualify for another debt solution, compare fees, and think about whether Chapter 7 bankruptcy might wipe out more of your debts more quickly. So I'm not saying here you have to file for bankruptcy. No, I'm just saying you want to talk to an advisor to actually have an idea of what's available to you. So when we talk about national debt relief, we're talking about a company that has been operating since 2009. You need to have $7,500 minimum to qualify. Let me talk to you about the pros and cons of national debt relief. So what are the pros here? National Debt Relief charges no upfront fees. You have free consultations that are offered, many types of debts that qualify you for help, and this is really good. You have positive customer reviews. You have free initial consultation. You are able to save money on interest and escape debt faster. You eliminate creditor calls and collection accounts, and National Debt Relief could actually help you avoid bankruptcy. And you have monthly payments that may be less than what you're paying for now. And then you have a very simple sign-up process and free consultation. So this is really good. So when we talk about today's topic, we're still having a conversation about national debt relief. So this is a review that really aims to explain everything to you. One thing I need to say here is that if you have questions, it's always better to contact the National Debt Relief. And basically the number here is 1-888-668-1377. And they are available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. through midnight Eastern, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday Eastern, of course, and on Sunday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. So they're available 7 days a week. This is really good. So here are the cons of national debt relief. Now, you must be behind on your debt to qualify. You could pay up to 25% to settle your debt, which could be detrimental for your credit score. You may not have enough debt to settle, and you do have high closing fees. So National Debt Relief charges a closing fee between 15% and 25% of your total debt enrolled, which can minimize the overall value of enrolling. And you need to think about the potential credit damage, because remember, at the end of the day, enrolling in the debt settlement program will significantly damage your credit score. There is no guarantee of settlement, so creditors are not obligated by law to work with debt relief companies such as the National Debt Relief, and may refuse to do so, and they may actually sue your ass in return. Okay, so it is also possible that creditors might actually file a lawsuit against you when you stop paying them in order to work with National Debt Relief. So National Debt Relief services are not free. And so it is what it is, and certain debts are ineligible. One thing I want to say overall here is that National Debt Relief is a legit company. It is not a scam. It is a legit company. It is actually, is it worth it? It really depends on you. It depends on your debt balance. It depends also on your personal situation. So whether it is worth it or not worth it depends totally on you. I want to talk to you about. I want to give you a few pro tips here. Okay, okay. So, what can national debt relief be used for? I mean, you have to think about if you are listening to me right now, you're thinking about your options. You got to be really clear about the types of debts you could qualify for if you want to work with the national debt relief. Okay, and so what are the debts? You have credit cards, personal loans, lines of credit. You have also medical bills, you have collections, you have repos, so repossessions, you have business debts, and certain student debts. So you can see that here we have a large bevy of loans that could qualify and that you can qualify for. It's really important to understand that national debt relief does not offer settlement services for mortgages, car loans, child support payments, back taxes, speeding tickets, and court fines, gambling debts, insufficient funds fees, car repair bills, rent-to-own bills, bail bonds, check cashing company loans, insurance policies, or warranty contracts. And private and federal student loans are settled on a case-by-case basis. So national debt relief actually reserves the rights to accept or deny certain opportunities. And it's important to remember that a lot of folks make the confusion that national debt relief is not going to fight for you when it comes to the credit card, to the credit, the credit, how do you call it? Like the FICO, your credit bureaus. Okay, that's the word. I was blanking for a second. So, national debt relief is not going to fight for you vis-a-vis TransUnion, Experian, or Equifax. It does not do that. It talks directly to creditors. It is not a credit repair company. It is not a debt consolidation company. They only do debt settlements. Okay, and you just expect to pay anywhere from 25% to expect to pay from 15% to 25%. So you can go all the way to 1/4 of the loan of the enrolled debt amount, depending on where you live. And so these fees are added to the amount you pay into a secured savings account each month while your debts are being negotiated. Okay, and national debt relief does not offer assistance with negotiating back tax debts or to the IRS or tax debts or to a state revenue agencies. They don't do that. Okay, so if you have unpaid tax debts, you may be able to work out a payment plan with the IRS. Alternatively, you may want to consult a tax attorney to determine the best way to approach repayment in terms of back taxes. Let me talk to you now about the sign up. So if you are interested in national debt relief sign up, it's important. How do you sign up for this institution? Now, if you are interested in debt relief services, you can get started with national debt relief online or over the phone. So here is what's really involved. So you want to visit National Debt Relief's website and select apply, or you can call 1-800-287-1591 to start the process. Again, the number here is 1-800-287-1591 to start the process. And you want to provide national debt relief with your name, email address, and estimated amount of debt. So you want to complete your free consultation with a debt coach who will evaluate your situation and present sort of debt relief solutions for you. From there, you will work with your coach to create a personalized debt relief plan that fits your current financial situation. So what will happen here is that once you agree to a plan, you will make one monthly payment into your secured savings account, which you control. You do control the account though, but the thing is that it is a specific account whereby national debt relief is seeing what's really happening here. And so national debt relief's approach helps you focus on controlling your debt in less time instead of only making minimum payments for several debts all the same time. So it's really important as we really sort of circle back to today's topic. We are having a conversation about national debt relief review. This is a review about an institution that provides debt settlements. And so it's important to understand that you want to have the proper sort of debts, quote unquote, proper debts. So again, I want to remind you the types of debts settled by national debt relief. We're speaking about major credit cards, department store cars and gas cards, bank loans from prior banks, installment and unsecured personal loans, finance companies, repossession deficiency balances. You must provide statement for that. Business debts, bank overdraft and associated fees. You must provide statements. Cell phones that are not current. Credit unions whose members are not federal or military employees. Vet bills over $500. Abandoned timeshares. We're speaking about judgment 6 months or older, so you must provide documentation. And back rent. So if you're no longer the resident, you can actually work with a national debt relief. Okay, and so this is kind of cool. So the services that you will get are really diverse. It depends on what you were looking for in terms of the application process. I want to give you the approach here. So when we talk about national debt relief, and it's important to understand that this institution works in a very specific way. And so what they do is they will negotiate with your creditors on your behalf to help resolve your debts. Very simple, right? And so the goal here is to help you pay off debts for less than what's owed and escape debt faster. So let me give you an overview of how the whole process works. So national debt relief creates a personalized debt plan for you based on your budget and financial situation. You make one payment each month into your secured savings account, and national debt relief negotiates with your creditors to reach a settlement agreement. Once an agreement is reached, your creditors get paid from the money in your account, and the remaining debt balance is canceled and you pay nothing else to the creditor. And the process continues until all debts you ask national debt relief to negotiate are gone. The company estimates that it takes at least 24 to 48 months for clients to become debt-free if they stick to their debt repayment plan. So in exchange, you will pay a fee to National Debt Relief for their services, and those fees are built into the amount you deposit in your dedicated savings account. So fees vary by state and range from 15% and 25% of your total enrolled debt amount. So this is kind of similar to what other debt relief companies charge anyway. So it's pretty straightforward, nothing really complicated here. So when we talk about the National Debt Relief, we talk about their terms, fees, and conditions. Here you have it, okay? It's debt settlements. They negotiate a debt settlement with your creditors. They charge you anywhere from 15 to 25%. Not a problem. So to qualify, make sure you have debts like if you have a debts that's $10,000 or more, you will qualify for a National Debt Relief program. Not a problem. So National Debt Relief, for all intents and purposes, based on our analysis, is great for people who have a large amount of unsecured debts, people who need help negotiating with creditors, and people who are able to save the required amount each month. Remember, there is a required amount that you need to save. You need to deposit that amount into a special account. Of course, the secure savings account is under your name, but the money is not actually there for you to use. You have to actually go through some challenges before you can actually unlock whatever liens are on the loan. Because if you ask National Debt Relief to do work on your behalf, and on your end you do not keep the bargain that you're supposed to keep, then there is a problem. Because National Debt Relief will take some kind of commitment they will not be able to honor later on. So this is really bad. Don't do that. I want to talk to you about the value added. So when we talk about National Debt Relief, obviously this company has been in existence for a while, and you can actually benefit from its services. And I want to talk to you about a few areas where National Debt Relief really kicks ass. So how do you qualify? You qualify if you have debts between like a debt of at least $7,500 and maximum $10,000. Sorry, maximum $100,000. So we're looking at a debt amount, a consolidated debt amount that goes from $7,500 all the way to $100,000. And it has to be unsecured debts from credit cards, personal loans and lines of credit, medical bills, business debts, and private student loan debts. And so National Debt Relief does not actually settle debt from lawsuits, IRS debt and back taxes, utility bills, or federal student loans. It cannot settle auto and home loans or other types of secure loans. Again, it's important. So the company says that on average, its clients has a client has $20,000 or more in debt, and National does a soft credit pull during the application process to verify creditors and outstanding balances owed on each debt. And this is cool. And a soft credit pull does not affect your credit score. So what about the debt settlement process itself? So once you actually hire National Debt Relief, an escrow account is established in your name. Then instead of paying your creditors, you deposit a monthly payment to this account. National determines the monthly payment level, which is often lower than the total monthly payment And so this is kind of cool. So this is really important because season payment to your creditors means you become delinquent on your account, accruing late fees and additional interest, and your credit score will tumble. That's for sure. So if you're comfortable and aware of that, then I would say go ahead and do it. Okay, this is but you have to be really, really careful here in terms of savings. So what will happen here is that first, let's talk about the cost. So the company collects a fee when a debt is settled. And so it's important to understand that so you don't charge upfront fees because the FTC said it was illegal in 2010. So nationals fees vary from 15% to 25% of your total enrolled debt, depending on the amount you owe and the state you live in. So the escrow account requires a $9 setup fee and monthly charge of $9.85. So those are things you need to think about if you are trying to, I would say, wipe up your debt. So what is our verdict? Is national debt relief worth it? Yes. Our answer is very simple. It is worth it. This is a legit company, so nothing hidden here, nothing complicated here. Don't listen to folks trying to tell you that national debt relief is a scam. They're not a scam. They're a legit company, and they actually have helped hundreds of thousands of individuals and consumers settle their debts. Okay, so national debt relief could help you get out of debts, but it's not always a fit for every situation. So understanding how debt negotiation works is a good place to start when deciding how to manage your financial obligations best. So let's say if you are interested in national debt relief specifically, it's important to thoroughly understand you need to understand what you are agreeing to before signing up. So the company is legit, and they have helped hundreds of thousands of people negotiate their debts for the last 10 to 15 years. And the company's debt coaches are certified through the International Association of Professional Debt Arbitrators, and IAPDA, and the National Debt Relief is also a member of the American Fair Credit Council. So this is kind of cool. So overall, you actually are benefiting from several layers of expertise here. And so one thing I want to say here is that in our verdict is pretty simple. Debt relief companies such as National Debt Relief offer a solution or solutions for people who have substantial debt and need help taking control of their finances. And National Debt Relief helps its clients pay off or reduce their debts for less than what's owed. So if you are struggling, let's say if you're struggling with credit card bills right now, medical bills, or other debts, the best debt relief companies are worth considering. Especially the following National Debt Relief review actually gives you a lot of information about what to go and what not to go, and this is kind of cool. That way you have a clear idea about what you should let's say involve yourself with, so you can also just apply for a credit card or just resume your financial life. Quick much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I want to quickly review today's conversation. So I was just talking to you about National Debt Relief review. This is a review that gives you all the ins and outs. So let me quickly recap here. So number one, I gave you a synopsis. Number two, pros and cons. Number three, pro tips. Number four, sign up. Number five, the approach. Number six, value added. Number seven, the verdict. Thank you. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.